Hello, my name is Jorge Garcia. I am the founder and CEO of Apex Skin and also of Apex Clinical Research Center in the Northeast Ohio. I started our practice back in 2011 with really the simple purpose of improving access to dermatology across our region. And over the last several years, we've been growing in size and locations, where we cover now a pretty broad territory around Northeast Ohio. And we provide everything from general medical dermatology to surgical dermatology and skin cancer services to our own pathology lab, obviously aesthetics, and also very exciting. About 3 or 4 years ago, we started our clinical trials unit, which has been growing significantly over the last couple of years. Well, clinical research is really fragmented. Most of the clinical researchers right now are either in a big academic centers or individual practices doing research, what I call on the side. I think one of the gaps that we feel here in our group is really representation, access, and real world applicability. And what that means is that, representation means that we bring research to our clinics so that make that part of the clinic experience and the patient experience. That automatically allows access to patients that maybe don't know about clinical trials and now are engaging with us with clinical trials and having those conversations. And then the real world applicability is really a lot of the sponsors these days. They want people from all sorts of different backgrounds, all sorts of different skin types, all sorts of different socioeconomic status. So I think that, gives you really, in terms of the research data, it really gives you a broad base, information regarding on all various different types of patients, not just the academic types that are seen in academic centers. So it's really a win-win for the sponsor and also for the patient because they have access to the new therapeutics coming out that otherwise maybe they didn't get before. So one of the big things that I think our model does is that really provides a centralized operations for the sponsor. So it's a lot easier for the sponsors to deal with our group, knowing that they're going to have, 3 or 4 sites doing the same type of protocol. So protocol stability or, kind of consistency. Also, quality of the data and compliance, that's really important. So when you have full-time, clinical research coordinators, staff of regulatory people, budget people, when you have a dedicated research team, then it really makes it as a smoother operation. And sponsors like that because then that translates into cleaner data for them, but also faster enrollment. We're able to tap into a lot of people across our sites, and then we can, enroll faster, which is terrific for the patient, but also terrific for the sponsor, especially if they want to get data or get people quicker. And certain studies have a time frame that they want to enroll. So I think that having a multi-site model, it's a lot better for us because we can kind of control some of the quality of the program, but at the same time, it's good for the sponsors because they know that they can focus with one person and then they know they're going to get the quality type of data that they're looking for without having to talk to 5 different people, in 5 different sites. Yes, for us, this is what I was telling you earlier about how we kind of seamlessly kind of try to integrate clinical trials within the patient journey, right? So oftentimes this is not taught, most dermatology practices or dermatologists are real busy during the day-to-day, clinic that, clinic is not really, I mean, research is not really something that they have on their brain as they see a patient, by us having those touch points with our providers and really teaching them about, hey, this is the 3 studies that we have. Now, this is part of the conversation with the patient. And then, you instead of making this a burdensome issue, oh, and I gotta go to a clinical trial, you make it part of the trial of the treatment plan. You know, if you're not getting better with this medication and the insurance company is not really covering this, what else is out there? And the patients appreciate that when you have the conversation. So I think that, you know, for us, it's really, you know, aligning the visits with our providers, and we teach our providers a lot about clinical trials. So they're it's really kind of putting that into the conversation as part of the patient journey.